Imagine a company so revolutionary that it promised to save the planet, spare billions of animals, and make meat obsolete, all while delivering the juicy taste of a burger. In 2019, Beyond Meat wasn't just a food company, it was a movement. Wall Street called it the future of protein. The media called it the end of animal agriculture as we know it. And investors? They piled in, sending its stock soaring to a staggering $235 per share. But here's the shocking twist. Just 4 years later, Beyond Meat lost 98% of its value. Its partnerships crumbled, its sales collapsed, and today it's fighting just to stay alive. So what really happened? Was Beyond Meat a genius innovation killed by bad execution? Or was it always an overhyped dream destined to fail? Let's dive into the story, because the rise and fall of Beyond Meat isn't just about burgers. It's about hype, competition, economics, and how consumer trends can turn against you overnight. The story begins in 2009, when Ethan Brown, an engineer turned entrepreneur, had one burning question: why do we love dogs and cats, yet kill cows and chickens for food? Growing up on a dairy farm, Brown had always wrestled with this paradox. After earning an MBA at Columbia and spending nearly a decade in clean energy, he wanted to dedicate his career to something he considered more meaningful: reinventing meat. His timing couldn't have been better. Researchers at the University of Missouri had developed a technology to give plant proteins the fibrous texture of real meat. Brown poured his savings into licensing it, betting that consumers were ready for a burger that looked, cooked, and even bled like beef, without the cow. In 2012, Beyond Meat hit shelves at Whole Foods with its first product, chicken-free strips. Curious shoppers lined up. Some were vegans thrilled at the idea of realistic meat alternatives, others were meat eaters just curious to try the buzz-worthy future of food. But the real breakthrough came in 2016, when Beyond launched the Beyond Burger. It was designed to sizzle on the grill, release that smoky aroma, and even leak beet juice that mimicked blood. Suddenly, it wasn't just vegans buying it, meat lovers were giving it a try. Celebrities and investors jumped on board. Bill Gates, Leonardo DiCaprio, and even former McDonald's CEO Don Thompson poured millions into the company. By 2018, Beyond Meat had become a Silicon Valley darling. 2019 was the year Beyond Meat became unstoppable. Its IPO became one of the hottest Wall Street debuts of the decade. Shares skyrocketed more than 800% in 3 months. Analysts compared it to Tesla, a bold disruptor taking on a massive, outdated industry. Restaurants rushed to partner. TGI Fridays rolled out the Beyond Burger nationwide. Carl's Jr. added it to menus. Even the United Nations honored the company for its sustainability mission. The vision was clear: meat without slaughter, protein without guilt, and a path to fighting climate change. At its peak, Beyond Meat was valued at $12 billion, an astronomical number for a company selling pea protein patties. But as we now know, what rockets up can come crashing down. So, where did it all go wrong? To understand Beyond Meat's downfall, we need to break it into 5 key reasons. 1. Fierce competition. When Beyond launched in 2012, it had the stage almost entirely to itself. But that changed fast. By 2016, Impossible Foods entered the market with its Impossible Burger, powered by soy protein and the now famous heme, an ingredient that gave burgers a meat-like taste. Burger King jumped on board, rolling out the Impossible Whopper in 2019, a move that gave Impossible a massive edge in brand recognition. And it didn't stop there. Giants like Nestle, Kellogg's, and even Tyson Foods, the world's biggest meat company, introduced their own plant-based lines. The result? The once niche market became overcrowded, and Beyond Meat lost its unique identity. 2. The price problem. Here's the cold truth: Beyond Meat was expensive. At times, double the price of regular beef. For health-conscious or eco-conscious shoppers, the premium made sense. But for the average family struggling with rising grocery bills, especially during inflation, $8 for a pack of plant-based patties wasn't sustainable. Beyond tried raising prices to offset rising ingredient costs, but this only drove more customers away. Instead of becoming mainstream, Beyond Meat remained a luxury item in a budget-conscious market. 3. Perpetual losses. Despite all the hype, Beyond Meat has never turned a profit. The company poured billions into research, marketing, and scaling production. Yet, losses mounted year after year. By 2023, Beyond had racked up over $1.2 billion in accumulated losses, with more than $1 billion in debt looming. Investors, once dazzled by its mission, began losing patience. The dream of endless growth gave way to cold financial reality. 4. Health controversies. Beyond Meat marketed itself as the healthier choice compared to red meat. But critics weren't convinced. Nutritionists pointed out that the burgers were highly processed, packed with sodium, and contained additives most consumers couldn't pronounce. In 2019, an industry-backed group ran ads comparing Beyond's ingredients to antifreeze. Whether fair or not, the message stuck. And let's be honest, when you have to explain that your burger isn't full of chemicals, you've already lost the perception battle. 5. Scandals and stumbles. Beyond Meat's reputation took further hits from embarrassing scandals. In 2022, its COO was arrested for allegedly biting a man's nose after a football game. Reports surfaced about unsanitary conditions in its factories. In 2024, the company paid a $7.5 million settlement for allegedly overstating protein content in its products. Individually, none of these destroyed the company, but collectively, they damaged trust in the brand. Perhaps the biggest blow came in 2021, when Beyond Meat partnered with McDonald's to create the McPlant burger. This was supposed to be their golden ticket to mainstream adoption. If the world's largest fast food chain embraced plant-based meat, Beyond could scale like never before. But the trial runs in Texas and California flopped. Customers simply didn't bite. McDonald's quietly shelved the project, and Beyond lost its chance at the mass market. By 2023, the writing was on the wall. Sales peaked in 2021 at nearly $500 million, then started sliding year after year. Stock prices plummeted from $235 to under $5. Google Trends showed interest collapsing. A company once hailed as the Tesla of food was now being described as the next blockbuster. So what does Beyond Meat's story really tell us? First, innovation alone isn't enough. Yes, Beyond created a groundbreaking product. But once competitors arrived, its edge evaporated. Second, consumer behavior is harder to change than investors think. People may say they want healthier, sustainable food, but when it's double the price and tastes almost like meat, they stick with the real thing. Third, hype can be dangerous. At $12 billion, Beyond Meat's valuation assumed that plant-based meat would replace animal meat within a decade. That was never realistic. Is there any hope? Surprisingly, yes. Beyond Meat hasn't given up. In 2024, it launched its fourth-generation Beyond Burger, reformulated with avocado oil to cut sodium and saturated fat. The company is betting on cleaner labels, better taste, and partnerships with schools and institutions. Plant-based meat may never fully replace traditional meat, but it could still find a loyal niche, especially as younger generations embrace sustainability. The question is, will Beyond Meat survive long enough to see that future? Beyond Meat's rise and fall is one of the fastest in business history. In just a decade, it went from a farm boy's vision to a Wall Street darling, and then to a cautionary tale. It teaches us that even with noble intentions, disruptive technology, and massive hype, success isn't guaranteed. Consumer habits, economics, and competition can humble even the boldest brands. So the next time you bite into a Beyond Burger or walk past it in the freezer aisle, remember, this isn't just food. It's a lesson in how businesses rise, how they fall, and how fragile hype-driven empires can be. What do you think? Will Beyond Meat rise again, or is it destined to become a case study in corporate collapse? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories from behind brand success.